Exore is a very new company in its current form. It's only been around for less than 1 year. And so we're a gold exploration company listed on the Australian Stock Exchange with a head office here in Perth in Australia. But our project and our sole focus is on a gold exploration project in Cote d'Ivoire, in the northern part of Cote d'Ivoire, which we acquired in really December last year. So we've been aggressively exploring that project over the last 7 to 8 months and had a lot of success as our drilling results have shown over the last 6 months.
You've been in the current form for less than a year. What was it before?
So really before it was just a cash shell. Going back some time, it had some lithium assets, and that's where the cash came from. And then I joined the company. When I joined the company last year, it was just a well-funded cash vehicle without a project and looking for a project. We had about a $15 million market cap with $15 million in the bank.
How did you get into the project? How did you find it?
It was a project that I was familiar with. When we looked at the project, we could see that there'd been a lot of early reconnaissance exploration work done by the previous explorer, but not a lot of drilling. And there was some really stellar walk-up drill targets. And obviously we had the money to be able to do the project justice. And then when we looked at the country, we really saw a huge opportunity in Cote d'Ivoire. It really is the most stable place in West Africa now. And there's long been an argument that it's got the greatest opportunity because it has a very large percentage of the Birimian greenstone belts that are situated in Cote d'Ivoire, but it just hasn't had the same exploration focus as some of the neighbouring countries.
If we look at the Birimian greenstone, it is prolific, as you say. I think even in your PowerPoint, you say there's 61 million ounce plus businesses there already. It's very attractive, but isn't that part of your problem too, in that you're one of many?
Yeah, I don't really see it as a problem. At the end of the day, large gold discoveries are going to get interest from the market.
In terms of promoting the company, is it not a concern of yours that you've got lots of people going around telling pretty much the same story and they're sitting with resource as well? How do you stand out?
Well, there's two things really that differentiate ourselves. One's our cash position, and therefore, people who invest in Exore today, are unlikely to be facing dilution in the short term. So that's the first point. And then secondly, and ultimately the most important, is the drilling results that we've been able to put out, which shows that we've made definitely a discovery at what we call the Antoinette area, and looks like we're making a second discovery, an emerging discovery at Veronique. And that really differentiates us and the grade of those intercepts, and ultimately that will come out in our maiden resource. We think we'll be able to show, whilst it's a modest start in terms of quantum, it should be at pretty good grade for a resource which is sitting at surface.
You've got, what, 10 million bucks or so?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, just under $10 million now because
right.
We're doing very active exploration programs.
So how are you going to spend that? When does that last you through to? And what value do you think it can create? You're sitting at 30 million-ish market cap today. You're going to spend 10 million. What do you want to see at the end of that?
We wouldn't be here if we didn't see the potential for a multi-million ounce gold project ultimately. And for us, that's 2-3 million ounces plus, which is a standalone project, which you could then take through to feasibility and ultimately development and production. So that's our goal. Where we sit today, it's been 6 months. We've spent probably about $5 million. Hopefully we'll come out with a maiden resource in the next few weeks. And that should be a stepping stone towards that ultimate goal of a 2-3 million ounce project. And we've been able to, and I think it'll be quite a significant stepping stone towards there. And we've been able to achieve that with about $5 million of expenditure.
And why did you feel the need to put out a maiden resource now? Shouldn't you just be drilling and put out a meaningful maiden resource, 1 million ounce plus, that sort of level? You've got the cash. You're not under any pressure. Yep. Why do it?
We want to be able to show that we've achieved something tangible in the first 6 months, rather than just a whole lot of drilling results, and be able to say, what does this mean? And that sort of leads us to putting a maiden resource out, albeit it's just very much an interim position. And then it allows the analysts to say, well, they've actually achieved what they said they were going to do in the first 6 months. and gives everyone a bit more confidence in what we'll do in the next 6 months. And I think just putting a resource out allows us to attract some more institutions that we've been able to do over the last 6 months, but hopefully attract further institutions to our register on the back of also some analysts picking up coverage of the company going forward.
I mean, are you nervous about the current strategy delivering for you, or you have some degree of confidence, and where does that come from?
I know we have a lot of confidence, because what we're talking about as an initial step is just on one very small area at Antoinette, and we've been drilling elsewhere. Both, step out on that particular area that we're looking at putting a maiden resource around within the broader Antoinette area, but also at this new discovery, Veronique, which will not feature in any maiden resource, but in some point in the future, we hope that will provide a very much a step change to the project in terms of scale.
You're hitting similar grades to lots of companies in that Birimian greenstone belt, so that's good. They're good grades. Your focus going forward, I guess, is about understanding how much of it you've got, right? Because at the moment, you don't quite know.
That's
what
right.
You've got.
I mean, I think the grades we're hitting, are at the upper end of some of the other operating gold mines and just deposits around us. So I think the grade is reasonably good, reasonably high grade for surface mineralisation. Mm-hmm. But you're absolutely right. It's all about how much gold we can define, and the scale of the soil anomalies that we're drilling definitely demonstrate that potential for that multi-million ounce discovery. And the area that we've been drilling at Antoinette, it represents probably only 10 to 15% of the broader soil anomaly within that area there. And then, as I said, we have a number of other very large-scale soil anomalies, only one of which we've started to drill and having some early success there.
Where's this thing going? Once you've kind of built out some scale to it, where's the exit point for you guys?
But once we have the critical mass, and which I said, in my view, is 2 to 3 million ounces of gold in resource, then we will, the company will evolve, the team will evolve, and we'll take that resource and the project through feasibility and ultimately development. That's where we'll go. Now, if there's interest along the way, so be it. But if we're not taking the project forward and adding value to the project, then we're not going to attract any interest in the future. So that will be our strategy.
Do you think the market's giving you fair value at $30 million for what you have?
I don't think too many managing directors would think that. But ultimately, we're well funded, so the share price is what it is. We'll just keep going and hopefully keep stepping out and keep producing the drilling results that we've been putting out over the last 6 months and show this project's going to grow and grow. And ultimately, the share price, I think, will react accordingly.